What is going on, everybody? Don't have a ton of time today, so I thought I'd just record a video with my phone. But it is hilarious. And there aren't many. In fact, there's been some Syracuse fans that have been like, yeah, the whole Fran Brown getting pissed thing is a little bit silly. What's going on, Teddy Pup? Teddy Pup knows what the truth is. Named after Teddy Roosevelt, my favorite president. But the Syracuse, some of you Syracuse people are kind of becoming like Jordan Peterson with this whole Fran Brown thing. Well, I mean, what does it even mean to disagree with someone? We have to first define disagree. We need the full context. So we need to look at every press conference that Brent Key has ever done. So one person said, "Oh, it's in the 6A, the fan thing." I think that might have even been a Tech fan. I don't know that was saying that. It doesn't exist. I guess he said later on in that interview. I mean, you guys can go look at every Brent Key interview he did that week. I for members, react to every Brent Key press conference that he does. I've listened to everyone. In fact, if the press conference is like 20 minutes, the reaction will be an hour and 20 minutes. So like we break it down. And I'm an honest Tech fan. I will tell you, and I've been critical of Key about several things that he's done from interim to now. Doesn't exist. If him saying we got to be the most physical team from 12 to 4, I don't really get it. I mean, so look, I get the impression with Fran Brown, anything beyond like, yes, you're the greatest ever, your team is the greatest, everyone from the Northeast is world beater badasses, then he's going to take offense to it. Again, it's just silly, but also as a Tech fan, the way that you shut all that up is just win the game, which we didn't do. Now, other thing that really sucks is evidently Joe Hamilton was fired from 6A to the Fan or whatever the broadcasting conglomerate is. And I guess he was late to the previous week's game. Like he didn't get there till like late in the first quarter. And, you know, I don't really want to speculate here as to what happened. But he was hired by Georgia Tech years ago for some role, and he was fired. I want to say marijuana related, something that was marijuana related. Either way, that didn't work out. Evidently, when he came on the broadcast, like Andy Dimitra, whatever his name is, was having to finish his sentences, and he seemed a bit disheveled. Now, that could just be because he was late. Maybe there was bad traffic. I don't know. There really is no excuse for being late to a broadcast, though. They had to pull someone else in for his spot, but he's no longer in the broadcast crew for Georgia Tech, which really sucks. The people that employ him have not made any statements as to why he was fired, other than he's no longer with the company. What I can tell you is anytime like they're like, hey, he no longer works here and that's it, whatever happened isn't good, which stinks. But also, you know, you kind of have to say, Joe, like whatever happened, man, like you kind of keep getting in your way. Like you probably could have a very nice broadcasting career with Tech, being a Tech legend, and it seems like you just keep getting in your own way and making mistakes. So I hope the best for Joe Hamilton, but you can't, whatever the mistake you made is, like you can't keep doing this. It's kind of the second go around with him that it hadn't worked out. So again, I hope the best for him, but also WTF, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? You got to seize the opportunity that's ahead of you. Now, I will break down film for the previous game. Like, I don't have anything to say about VMI, right? There's no point in going and doing film breakdown what VMI does. Like, we're going to win that game. If we don't, then there's no hope. But there is a lot to be gleaned from Syracuse. Now, if you listen to the live show, evidently they ran a 3-man front. I never played offensive line, so I'm not privy to the intricacies of that position. Like, I am aware of like the different techniques. Oh, like this guy's in a 3 technique, outside shade. Sometimes they call it like a 3-eye, whatever. I know a little bit, but I wasn't aware that that 3-man front is kind of, this is what Joe Gilbert was saying last night, who had played at Georgia Tech, played guard. That's kind of like the triple option for defensive fronts. You don't see it a ton, and if you're not prepared for it, there's some wrinkles involved that can really mess you up, especially running the ball. Now, it does seem like pass protection is a little bit easier against that 3-man front because you're usually taking your first step back, especially at tackle. You're taking your first step back, you're putting your back to the quarterback, and you need to see things better. Harder to see on the interior and when you're running the ball. Now, we should be prepared for that, right? We should be able to adjust to that, and we didn't, and that's a coaching failure for Georgia Tech. The good news, if there is from that is something I think you can fix within a week. I don't think the defensive issues are necessarily fixed within a week. We also talked about last night that, like, look, defensive end, pass rushing should be, schematically the simplest thing you do. Yes, you stunt, send blitzes from, what places they're not expecting it from. But as far as playing defensive end, it's just, hey, there's the quarterback or the running back, go get the guy, right? And then whatever your assignment is, if you're stunting inside or, for whatever reason you're dropping back, I'm not a huge fan of that, putting defensive players in pass protection. We did that with Andrew Thacker, and it didn't go well. So, look, we overreact a lot. I still think Tech can go have a good season. It's going to be tough, though. I know Notre Dame lost to NIU. They still have more talent, just raw talent, than Georgia Tech does, I think. You got NC State. Louisville's going to be a massive test. We don't have a bye till after them, so we'll play VMI. Then we'll go on the road and play Louisville. Hey, Bird, I'm trying to record some YouTube videos here. What are you doing? But that Louisville game is going to be critical. In my opinion, that Louisville game could be the most important game on our schedule, as well as NC State. Because just looking at our schedule, those two games could decide whether you go to a bowl or not. Assuming you lose to like Georgia, Miami, and Notre Dame, you got to win one of those two games, Louisville or NC State. NC State is right after a bye, but NC State gets a bye as well. So let me know what you guys think about all that. Y'all have a good one. Be watching out for that. Oh, yeah, one last thing. Information for the NC State convoy should come out. I'll probably put it out in the morning. It looks like I'm going to be asking like $175. I'll go get the tickets. And whatever the difference is, I'll just refund to you. Probably send it to my PayPal. But I'll be getting that information out soon. You guys have a good one.